Hey, how many A's are in Parabellum?
About the same as the body count in that movie. Well, we just got back from seeing John Wick 3, Parabellum. I don't know who it was directed by, but it was starring...
Same guy as the other two.
Same as the other two. Starring Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne and
Some other people. Ian
Anyway,
McShane.
Right, he was in that.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, of course. Two dogs and Chris.
It's great! I'm going right into this. What a great way to start our morning.
Yeah, we saw it early in the morning. It was, I couldn't have woke up with anything better than this. What did you give it out of 10?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just as good as the other two. I mean, it might be better than the second. I mean, rating wise, I'd put them all around at like 8.5 mark.
I did give this one the same. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, every second of it.
Yeah, they all bring something different to the table. Like this one was probably more heavily on like
the lore,
the backstory, the lore, which is cool, like the whole world. And then like weapon wise, it was more like knives than
it wasn't just gunplay. A lot of it started.
There was some. It's different. But whoever choreographs the stuff in this movie,
can you do Star Wars, please? Do something else besides.
So
I mean,
good.
These movies are great; they're fantastic. This is one of the best action movies I've seen in a while. In fact, since I've seen John Wick 2.
Yeah,
really.
That Mission Impossible.
Well, yeah, Mission Impossible. I think that's a different style of action. This is
but
really.
But even I'm just making a point that like these always as a trilogy of movies,
they have delivered. And they have been fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, every single one. It's if you enjoy the choreographed fights, you enjoy, pretty violent. This one was probably the most violent of all.
Oh, yeah.
It had some pretty gruesome moments. It wasn't like blood spurting or anything. Nothing over the top like that. But
yeah, that Kill Bill-ish. But...
No, nothing that crazy. Still, like, believable. But it's just pretty...
Yeah,
pretty violent.
I have to rate this one pretty high. I liked it better, and I liked the second one. Still not as good as the first. The first is just, it's got a special place in my heart. It's just different, I think, because it's the introduction of the character, and you're starting to see this different form of combat from the house scene, from the club scene. Everything was new and different, and it still is awesome. Like, it doesn't wear it. I can still watch that and be completely entertained by it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not like one necessarily outshines the other.
There is a scene in this movie without spoilers right now. You've seen it in the trailer with the dogs. By far the best scene in the entire movie, and that's worth the price of admission right there. That whole scene, fantastic.
We'll talk about that one.
And Keanu Reeves does a good job. Like he's 54 years old. He still moves around great. He gets it done.
I think he does about 90% of everything in there.
That's insane.
I mean, it just looks so fluid and so good.
I like it's believable action. Like, granted, yes, some of it's a little over the top, all these headshots and whatnot, clearly, but you can see them getting tired. They get it. He's exhausted. He's bloody. He limps around. Like, it's not this superhero fight and you just keep going. It's like, don't you guys even take a breath? He
is kind of a god. Like,
well, yeah, sure.
I feel like if I were to...
It's believable, though. It gets you that... It's right at that level of, comic book.
But after each movie where you're like, I would not go up against him. Like, he just seems to just wipe through everything. But I actually enjoy... I enjoy that where everybody's like, oh, the whole city's against him. That's about even.
Yeah.
Or it's just so
that's
over the top.
Entertaining. You want these characters who are supposed to be, inhuman. And no, it was completely amazing, every part of it. I don't know how you could say this was anything less than a terrific action movie. Yeah. Like, it's the best action movie I've seen, again, since John Wick 2. I mean, yeah, Mission Impossible was good, but it just didn't... It's not that level. This is a dance of action. It's really, really well done. Yeah. Every aspect of it. Whoever's behind this knows exactly what they're doing, and it brings in art from other parts of the world. All these, I mean, I've seen like The Raid Redemption, all those other kind of real heavy kung fu action movies, and this is right up there with them. Like, this shows that type of action.
This one's probably a little more on like kung fu-ish type.
Yeah, which I'm totally fine with.
But I think also that comes in with like a lot of the knife play.
Right, and the gunplay. It's kind of like gung fu is the saying, and but it does it well.
Yeah, it's just
fantastic.
You like those type of movies? If you can deal with the violence, it's just such an enjoyable movie, entertaining.
I'd watch it again
from the beginning to the end. This is probably a little more I think it might have more action than the second one.
I would agree. I don't know.
I'm not sure if it was. I'm not sure if the movie was longer. I didn't look at the runtime. I didn't look at any of that. But
did have a few issues with it. I mean, it's,
like what?
So, well, not spoiling anything yet, but there'd be like, in a train terminal and somebody dies, and it's like no one looks around and goes, "Hey, that guy just cut that guy's throat."
Like, I remember actually watching the movie and going like, "What's going on here?"
No one's screaming. No one's going, "Holy crap! Someone just did that."
Yeah, because in the second movie, they were like
careful.
Very secretive about firing their guns. Even that was unbelievable,
but at the same time,
it was still funny that
this
they were
is like right out in the open. Hey, let me just kill this guy. If they were trying to conceal it or something, you're like, oh, look how sneaky they are. But they were just right out in the open.
Yeah, I remember when we were watching it, I was like, oh, wait a second.
Okay, that threw me off a little bit. That was really the only scene, that one, where it was like, okay, clearly, and I get the whole thing of, everywhere he goes, there's an assassin looking around the corner. Like, how many assassins could there possibly? I'm fine with that. That's the world this is made in. Okay.
I enjoy the lore.
I'm enjoying
learning about the whole underground and that there's just so much to it. So, it's a cool thing they've built.
Yes,
and I hope it just continues.
I agree. And all right, so we'll jump into spoilers because I want to dive into every action scene. Yeah. So
if you haven't seen it, go out and see it because
it's entertaining. It's worth your price. If you like action movies, go see this movie.
Totally worth those 2 hours going to the movie. So jumping into spoilers.
Your favorite action scene? We're just gonna say it is. The dogs. That's where Halle Berry,
her character, she's not in the movie for long. Like
no, it's just that one scene. Really, it's just the kind of the second
just beforehand, she's introduced and she has a marker, like they trade. It's like you saved my life.
So you're right. I owe you, you owe me, kind of thing, right?
So he comes to her and they want to, figure out a way to get John's excommunicado lifted,
right?
And so goes to her and. Yeah, I'd say she's in the movie for a total of 20 minutes.
Maybe. Yeah, that's about it.
But it's just one little section. However...
what a section.
Yeah.
It doesn't disappoint.
It did not. It was great. She killed it. Honestly,
I wanted more, and I didn't say I wasn't satisfied. I was. But it's like, it was so good. It's like, can I have some more, please? Like, it was one of those, like,
I wasn't
this was great. Like, no. Let's keep it going. Like, I definitely had my fill. It's like eating a giant meal. Yeah, I'm already full, but it's just so good. I want some more, please. I'm being a glutton here. And I was a glutton with that scene. Those dogs made that. It was such a great way to introduce it at the combat.
Oh, the dog. I mean,
and every time there's something different. Like when he jumps up her back, or they're diving underneath the car. Or so like, this is great.
The scene, where was it? Like Morocco or something?
I think so,
I forget. But the scene was set up in a way, like you could tell, like there were ramps.
Right, for the dogs.
And for the dog. Like, they set it up so it would be
I
set up
that,
for the dogs.
But I didn't care.
I didn't. It didn't bother me because the dogs were awesome. I don't know that I've ever seen a movie where dogs have been used...
Not in this way.
To, like, such a ferocious way.
No.
Like, I guess, like
it was beautifully quartered, way. Yeah. Like, when they go to shoot and the dog, he's jumping around, grabs the gun arm, and that biting they do just to keep guys on the ground.
It's great. And it reminded me when we're watching it, and Halle Berry is just, like, killing everybody. I mean, John Wick style along with the dogs.
Right, she was the female John Wick, and that was cool.
But as I was watching that, it reminded me, because we saw Endgame like 2 weeks ago or whatever. It reminded me of the scene where all the women get together and they power through, and it was like, yeah, this is kind of whatever. And then she's on screen by herself. I would take that whole scene
versus
a million days over, because she was just kicking butt.
I mean, fantastic.
Oh yeah. So I hope Halle Berry is back because.
Yeah, give us some more of that, especially with the dog combat. That was amazing.
Yeah, she brings something to the screen with the dogs, like that little section of hers really could.
I liked how when they talk about the gold coins in the movie, and I was watching a Screen Junkies episode after the second one came out, and they were talking to the directors, going, "Hey, how much are those little gold coins worth?" And he said, even the director said, "It's not like they have a monetary value. It's almost like you're in the know." And I liked how they actually talked about it, like now it's canon, if you will. Like he was saying, like, hey, these have actually there's no value behind these. It's all about a society kind of thing. Like this is how we identify who is who. And I'm like, there it is. That's the writer and director kind of explaining it to us. I liked that. I liked how they really were deepening the understanding of what is happening.
Every movie seems to build upon and add something new, so you go,
but not too much to make you go.
It's not overload.
There's still a wonder of like, I want to know more about the society.
It's not. It's not overload. It's not. It's not just like a ton of exposition. It's just like thrown into the movie in just the right way.
Right.
And it just adds on to it.
Now, it doesn't mess with the story at all. Now you know his backstory. You know his real name, John Wick's real name. You kind of know where he was trained.
That was in New York.
Right.
So he goes to.
I guess that was the Russian. He's some kind of Russian mobster or whatever they were training.
Yeah, like they all have like the tattoo that he has.
Like he's an orphan. Like he doesn't have any parents. Like they kind of say all those things in there.
Yeah, it's like a training facility.
Right.
He goes to, and they're like wrestling and like taking people down, and it's just.
They all have the crosses and whatnot. And I want to know more about that and what that society's role was. Interesting. Now let's talk about the ending. So was it planned? Or is Winston just a jerk?
So I want to leading up to the end.
Go ahead.
I mean, like he gets his finger cut off. Like
I was surprised by that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting, because he's supposed to go kill Winston, the Continental owner, the head, and he goes there, and I'm thinking like they had to have planned this sort of, but. It wasn't. So the table, is it the table?
The table, yeah.
The table comes after, and John Wick loads up with the concierge.
That was great.
And it's just like prepare for war, and they just have this massive fight for the rest of the movie. And it was great. And then at the very end, Winston turns on John Wick and shoots him over that edge.
Or does he really turn on him?
I don't know.
Well, he did say something is like, "Are we prepared?" So, and his concierge was like, "Yeah, we're ready." So, what does he mean by that? I don't think Winston would have turned on Wick. Like, I think that's out of his character. I think the whole thing was part of his plan to completely destroy. But then I think the next, it's clear there's going to be a John Wick 4. You can't end it the way it ended. You have to make a fourth one. I mean, if you don't, everyone's going to be wondering.
So there's like he's Lawrence Fishburne's like the Bowery King or whatever,
right.
And at the very end, what's the TikTok? You saw him in the beginning, the homeless guy with the watch.
The spy.
He brings John Wick to Lawrence Fishburne, and Fishburne says, he's like, I would have turned on you too for my hotel. Like, so I'm wondering if Winston really just turned on him. Like, no, I'm getting my hotel back, so I'm good to go.
No, I don't.
Did he use John Wick just to get his hotel back to do that? Maybe.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I think there's a respect to when when the line "Are we prepared?" I think was part of it. I think this whole thing is to plan, and I think Winston's trying to bring down the whole table and everything. I think that's what the next one's going to be about: is him going after the entire thing and kind of bringing the whole assassin.
I thought this movie was going to be the last.
I thought so too. I guess not.
Well, technically it's chapter 3.
Yeah, so now we'll have a chapter 4.
Unless one says the final chapter.
That's probably what it'll be.
But until it's just a chapter, it's just another log, it's just another entry.
I guess Keanu Reeves was fine with the fourth one.
Keep going. I thought they had said 3 was going to be the last, but
doesn't seem so.
I would say keep it up, because these movies are
it's going to make money. I mean, it's already made money now.
I think on Friday it made $22 million.
So yeah.
So the
thing is, I want to see another one. I do want to see where the story continues. I'm not satisfied with that. Like, let's keep going. I want to see more death and bloodshed and everything else, but and more different ways of combat. But even in the movie, throw cats into there next time and see them kill. I don't.
But there was like a horse scene where he mounts on a horse. It was short.
It was silly, but I was like, whatever.
But I didn't care. I'm like, he's just killing people on a horse. It's amazing.
Why not?
The motorcycle scene, which is cool.
We don't have a boat scene yet. So I guess he needs to get on a boat, like a jet ski of somewhere.
That was actually one thing. He did not drive a car.
Yes, we don't have him behind the wheel of a car in this one.
First one was very heavily
Second one, he was in the car in the first part of the movie.
Yeah, he was in that a little bit. And this one, you get nothing. It's a lot of motorcycle.
Yeah, that's right.
You get some and a lot of swords.
So next, he'll be in space. I mean, that's where.
I hope it doesn't ever reach a point to that. I don't think it will, but it could.
But I did like this scene where they're in the pool and they're fighting, and the guy's shooting, and the bullets go about 2 feet. I went.
He pushed.
Thank you. That's actually real.
Pushed back from him.
Yeah,
because he knew that the bullets are just.
Yeah, they go 2 feet in water.
So then he jumps forward and gets right up into his helmet and fires like into his helmet because the bullet would.
Right. I mean that trajectory and that speed the water wouldn't affect it. I loved that. Like, yeah. That's been. I hate when movies do that because it's not accurate. Thank you, MythBusters.
Yeah.
Right. You can't. They don't stream through the water like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That, and there was another scene toward the beginning. There was like this whole knife scene.
Oh, that was great.
Between, I don't know, Wick and 5-6 other guys.
Doesn't matter. He
just throwing knives, stabbing. It was ridiculous. But before that, right beforehand, he's like over top that glass case with all the old revolvers.
Oh, and he takes one apart.
And he's taking everything apart and redoing everything.
Just so the rounds fit. That was great.
I thought that was like...
You're a gun nut. You have to love this movie.
I mean there's no way I don't know how accurate any of that is. I have no idea. I can't imagine they would purposely put that scene in there to then have it be wrong, and then people are like, "This is
there's
wrong."
A lot, I'm sure, in this movie that's wrong, but whoever's behind this, from the fighting, from the guns, it knows what they're doing. I'll say this, just like the Detective Pikachu movie, like whoever's behind it there's a sense of love. There's a sense of actually they giving a crap. So. Yeah, I mean, look at the training between Halle Berry, that was a recent YouTube video, or even Keanu Reeves in the second one. Like there is an effort behind this. It's not looking for just another throwaway summer flick. Like,
oh no,
they do care, and they're like, look, we care about action, we care about this stuff, and now look what we're doing. And I love that.
Yeah, the team behind it is like the Tom Cruise team.
Yes,
Tom Cruise always cares, but he's just one man.
Right, this is a team. The thing is, if you give that much attention and detail and love to a project, it shows through. They're not looking for a quick buck. They're looking to say, look at this. This is pure art in action form, and yes, it is.
It totally is.
So favorite scene was the dogs. My favorite scene was the dogs. Comment and say what your favorite scene was. If you've seen it, if you haven't, go see it.
But yeah, totally entertaining.